I do want to say before I start this video, as a baker, caker, business owner, bakers, cakers, business owners can charge whatever they want. And I always say the most important thing is about making sure your business is profitable, not becoming like the cheap cake lady just to get loads of orders where, you know, what you end up doing is burning yourself out and you're not really making any money. Having said that, I do think there is conversation to be said about how expensive pastries. I want to talk about London because that's where I live, but it could be the rest of the country as well. How expensive pastries are becoming. Definitely time to have a conversation about it. I decided to have this conversation with you all because there was two reviews called Bite Twice, Bite Twice food reviews. Now, you may remember them from my video when I spoke about how they got banned from Broadway Market because they gave a not so favourable review, allegedly. But they went to a bakery called Copal, which is a gluten-free bakery, to review it. They bought two pastries and it came to £21.50. So the bakes were basically like £11 each, and these were like serving one pastry, servings for one, not like one pastry to be shared between like 2 or 3 people. And their review wasn't very favourable. They said it was dry. Dry was the main kind of component of their review, and I don't know if that is a feature of gluten-free items, because obviously they got used gluten-free flour, so maybe it's the case that they tend to be drier, but that means you have to kind of impart some kind of moisture in there. But anyway, they weren't very impressed with it. They said it was really dry, and it just got me to thinking, £11 for a pastry. I don't think I've paid as much as £11 for one pastry. I mean, I did do my review of Cedric Rollo's pastry, like the really intricate pastries that he does, and I think for 6 I paid £80. So that's more than £11, isn't it? And I'm trying to justify it, though I don't feel I have to. They're absolute works of art, and I had no problem paying that amount of money, mainly because I wanted to do the review, but really because I wanted to see what they were like. But Cedric Groller is also where you can buy a cookie for £25. Now, it's not your kind of standard digestive biscuit. It's a bit bigger than that, but £25 is still a lot for a cookie. And I will say this, people will buy it because it's Cedric Grolo, it's like it went viral, so people will buy it. So there is that. Recently, there was an article in The Guardian about this whole phenomenon of like pastries and how much they've gone up by. I'll put the link in the description. It's quite an interesting article. So this journalist went around. I think he featured bakeries in London. Some I've been to, some I haven't, and just kind of comparing the cost. And not all of them were like £11. Some of them are probably still on the higher end, probably like £7, £8, £9. But as he went to all the bakeries, he did also speak to the customers, and they have no problem paying for it because they're like, it's high quality ingredients, you know, we know the value of these pastries. And then speaking to the owners as well, what they say is that, you know, the ingredients that they use are very, very high quality. And as we know, and I keep saying, the cost of ingredients have gone up so much, business rates, all these other things that businesses have to pay that have gone up so much over the past few years. So they kind of have to charge more anyway. But from what the article is saying, most customers don't mind paying extra. So in conclusion, are they getting too expensive? I don't know. I think there's going to come to a point though where people are going to be like, I'm not going to pay like 12, 13, £14 for a kind of everyday pastry because it's going to get ridiculous. And bear in mind that most people's wages haven't gone up at the same rate that everything else is going up, because not only is eating out generally more expensive, but even like shopping is more expensive as well. So is it going to get to the point where people are like, actually, I'm not paying that. I'm not going to be paying £15. But then on the other side, is there always going to be an audience for that? Because someone like me, I will buy it, but only to review it as a reviewer of those goods, not necessarily as a consumer, as someone just buying it as everyday consumption. But I don't know, what do you think? Do you think pastries are becoming way too expensive? And I'm talking about London, but maybe in your area, are you finding the same thing? Until next time, cake lovers.